I'm gonna level with you right away, this does not sound possible. There are a lot of doors in Gloomwood, there's a lot of locked doors in Gloomwood, and there's a lot of cases where you specifically need to hunt down the key to get out of a building in Gloomwood. Can you beat Gloomwood without doing any of that? After all, this early access game is supposed to be an immersive sim. So if I want to simulate myself as the opposite of lockpicking lawyer, I should be allowed to. So today, let's see if we can beat Gloomwood without picking up any keys. Like and subscribe, etc. And let's embark.
Oh, this I like better.
The difficulty is set to full moon, which would be the hard one, but also I need to tell you right out of the gate, I am playing this basically on Christmas and I have seasonal content on. That's why the map looks all snowed in and all the enemies are wearing Santa hats. Also, in a few places I can get snowballs that do douse out flames and torches, but those are things not at all pivotal to the gameplay. Everything here is doable outside of the seasonal content too.
No time, no waste. Stop to pick that up.
Coming out of my cage and I'm feeling completely awful as I realize that the first task after picking up the suitcase is to snatch a key off of a guard's back to enter a room where my sword cane is kept. Naturally we can't do that, but after clutching the thing through the entirety of my no suitcase run, I obviously can't leave it behind. Also, that room is the nearest place where I can save the game. So we will have to find an alternative route. The door doesn't seem flammable and I can't figure out a way to set it on fire anyway. Luckily there's a stairway leading down there that ends in a gate we can open without a key. And there are a few entry points to that stairway throughout the level. Unfortunately, most of them are also locked.
I saw that. Show yourself.
Having assessed the situation, I grab a box standing right next to where my suitcase used to be and put it very precariously onto the edge of this platform. Leaping at a wall from this box allows me to grab onto a ledge of this very red looking passage, climbing a chain inside of which I can get onto some boards above a corridor where the guards are standing. This corridor is a level above where the room I want to get in is, and this corridor has a clear passage onto the stairway. From there I just crank the wheel to open the passage to go grab my sword cane, break the boards like you're supposed to do, and almost pick up the key off of the dead guard following the muscle memory. I might have played this game entirely too much.
Good luck, dog. You're gonna need it.
Now there are two more items that I want to get before leaving the cannery. First is the gun from the safe on the second floor, and second is the secret gun from a safe in a cave. Two aside from the secret passage you can access from the beginning of the game. You can find a code to this safe much later into the game, but I'm gonna save myself some backtracking and just enter it right now. This is the Undertaker pistol, and it will be very important to our playthrough, as it allows you to click buttons and levers from afar by shooting at them. But all that later, first I need to grab my killing gun. This room is technically locked, but you just saw me bypass it through a hole in the wall from the first floor. The code in the safe is revealed when you turn off the lights, but naturally I already remember it because I played this an embarrassing amount of time. Now I just smash this window, alerting pretty much everyone in the vicinity about exactly where I am, but luckily I'll be long gone by the time they find this room. I already got everything I wanted from the cannery, so really I'm just making sure they never get back their safety deposit.
What does the Countess want with him anyways?
A minor thing that happens on the way to the caves is you can usually save your game in this little lone hut to a side. Unfortunately it is locked, and obviously I can't pick up the key from this pile of firewood to open it. To boot, there's a guy with an axe inside, and there's a guy with a gun patrolling nearby. So if I try to break through the window, I will absolutely alert the both of them to my presence. So I solved this situation by simply ignoring the hut entirely and just heading directly for the caves. There isn't actually anything dangerous leading up to the next safe spot. As per tradition, the cave area decided to be a problem. Now, I suck at dealing with the fish dogs, that's just fact. But this time an extra problem arose from the flipping generator. The door leading to the main cave area is electrified and you need to turn off the generator to pass it. You then need to turn on the generator to activate the elevator out of the mines. And I can't do any of that because the door leading to the room with the generator is locked with a key that you can pick up right next to the gramophone. So here I am considering dropping the run and doing that guns only playthrough somebody suggested in the comments. When suddenly I realized that the door leading to the generator room is not a door, it's a grate. And I can see the generator lever from all the way down here. Therein lies the question: can the Undertaker pistol shoot through a grate? Oh my god, it fucking can. It's in this moment that I realized that the developers might have tested the exact run I am currently doing. This is also where out the non-electrified door walked out a fish dog wearing Rudolph the reindeer nose and antlers. Best update ever. I am never playing this game not on Christmas. The dog cave otherwise goes on the way it usually goes on. There's only really one way it can go, and that is that I die a lot. Though they might have tweaked the dogs to be a tiny bit better or easier to bypass. I maxed out with basically no bullets. For giggles, I hit a snowball at one of the guys at the very end and run off before either of them can notice anything. The gatehouse on the way to the bridge is heavily populated and heavily guarded, but just like in my last video, I managed to jump into the window unnoticed. I then, however, decide to not take any chances with the campfire boys, leap out of the window and climb over the wall of a nearby house. There is no actual roof over this wall. In fact, there's no floor either. I simply fall into a hole in the ground and into the basement of the house. Since we last been here, the basement actually has been expanded and there's now a secret passage you can break into, leading into the caves under the bridge. This is a really cool way of bypassing quite a bit of land. But we will be immediately turning around and backtracking that land over, and for a good reason. That reason being that we can't actually access the Slaughtered Goat Tavern within this playthrough. It's not just that I would need to pick up the key from the back of the Goatman or from any other place to open the door out of the tavern. Once I'm in the tavern, I can't even exit it through the door that I came in from. This makes the tavern essentially a death trap for this run, which is why we will not be bothering the Goatman today. But at the very least I get to save a lot of time by simply shooting the lever on the other side of the bridge and dropping the drawbridge onto me. Now I can pretty easily sneak under the guts house leading to the lighthouse, and from there our next big challenge is the city gates.
I'll be waiting.
And that is when the penny drops. I can't go into the sewers because I don't have the valve from the Slaughtered Goat Tavern. So I need to literally blow the city gates open by turning around the cannon and blasting it through. To do so, I'll need a gunpowder horn, cannonballs, and that string thingy that you set on fire. But I can't get the cannonballs because they're locked in the Guts Tower. It's a room with no windows and only one entrance, and that entrance is on the lock. Naturally, I can't get the key to open it. So I'll have to do the plan B from the last video. I need 3 explosive barrels to blow up the gates manually. And here's the trick. Out of the 3 barrels available on this location, 2 are locked in the same room as the cannonballs. Not only will I have to find 2 more explosive barrels from somewhere earlier in the game and lock them all the way here, I'll also have to slaughter pretty much everyone on this location, because obviously they're gonna notice me dragging giant barrels around. But let's be fair here, alternatively I could just shoot the gates a bajillion times with a shotgun if the shotgun wasn't also back at the Slaughtered Goat Tavern. In short, here I go killing again! We did it, boys, gatekeeping is no more. Now I just need to steal somewhere 2 more explosive barrels. Fortunately, the crooked house on the way to the lighthouse has a bunch of those. Unfortunately, I hate it with a fiery passion. Having been burned before, I decided to try out a different vector of attack. That vector primarily being downwards. Once you already made your way to the lighthouse, turns out it is pretty trivial to just drop down from the ledge and onto the rib of a door frame unnoticed.
You cannot hide for long.
I totally can, shut up. And once all the kegs of dynamite are in place, I can finally blow this thing and go home. The market district is as welcoming as ever, that is to say, not at all. The abundance of enemies naturally makes me reach for the shotgun, but unfortunately the nearest one is locked in the gunsmith's shop. Almost on instinct, I follow the road down to grab the key to the biggest stash of ammo in the game, when luckily I suddenly realize, oh yeah, I'm not allowed to pick that up. This trip is not entirely wasted, mind you, because turns out that is where the entrance into the next area of the game currently in development is. The Underport district is right there, behind this grate. Or at least it will be eventually. Right now the only thing down there is a spiral staircase ripped out of the free demo for the game. As amazing as this discovery is, I still need to figure out a way of getting into the gunsmith shop to grab my weapons. The problem isn't even that you can't get into the shop itself. You can very easily smash a window. The problem is that doing so will trigger the alarm, making every butt barber in the area swarm the place. You can actually sneak in through the secret grate in the back of the shop. But even then, you need to get a key if you want to open any of the glass cases without triggering the alarm again. At the very least, saving the game is not an issue. And once that is done, it's prime time to start chanting our favorite mantra of this entire playthrough. Stealth is optional for this mission! Stealth is optional for this mission! Despite being caught red-handed, I somehow managed to sneak out of the gunsmith shop without having to spend any of my ammo on the bad barbers. And here's why this is a really good development for our run. Usually the weapons would be completely unnecessary because we can just stealth our way through the barber shop, grab the emerald ring in the basement and open the gates to the elevator that would take us directly to where we need to go. However, to get into the basement, we would need to pick up this key that's laying right next to the door to which it is a key to. Seeing a few flaws in your security, my man, but I like the spirit. What's more, to get out of the basement, we also will need a key. So this is keyception here, my people. We are truly stuck. Or are we? Here's the thing. There is a second passage to the Emerald Eye. The trick is it can only be opened once you already made your way to the Emerald Eye. It's the gate connecting the upper market district to the Queen's Road area. There is not a lever that would open this gate from the side we're going from, only when going backwards. But this is our last hope, so obviously it is well worth investigating. The trick is that to investigate it, I would have to deal with the Queen's Road, aka the most guarded area of the entire market district, which is why it's quite lucky that the shotgun takes out a huntsman in one shot. My strategy for the culling of the Queen's Road was pretty much just to use this room that is usually locked to lure people in. I would make a ruckus, break some glass, just make some noise, and the huntsmen would start pouring in one by one. The problem of course was when they stopped pouring in one by one and came in with an entire force, which actually proved itself to not be that good for them, as the few of them that have torches started swinging at me, and it turns out in close quarters that just leads to everybody being set on fire, even the doors. Still, obviously I didn't come out unscathed either and had to waddle to this cupboard to nom on somebody else's supply. Me and the boys at 3 AM's looking for beans, am I right, millennials? God, I'm so old. After committing the war crimes against the nation of canned beans, I'm now free to roam on the Queen's Road. And this is where I find myself at an impasse. I mean, there I am, standing there thinking, how do I, pass? To the left is the grate leading to the Emerald Eye. You are not meant to open it from this side though. You open it as you return. To the right, however, is the road to the Suitworks district. Obviously that one is not even in the game yet, but the bridge leading to it is. In fact, looking at it with the cheats, you can actually see a bag of coins laying on it, meaning that you are actually meant to somehow get to it. The path, however, is boarded over, but there is a gap at the very top. Now, in any other game, I would assume that that gap is actually an invisible wall as well. But this is Gloomwood we're talking about, the game that lets you just not have an inventory and still beat it. So I decided to try the Immersive Sim Classic and stack some boxes to solve a problem. There are a couple of barrels stashed away in the vicinity, and a couple is all we need as it turns out. By putting those barrels on top of these boxes, we can climb to the very tippy top and just about squeeze into the gap between the passage and the boards. We are now on the bridge leading to the Suitworks district. And oh my god, are those burnt people? Is this a pile of people ashes? What the heck is going on in this game? This town is horrible! I'll take that money back though, thank you. More importantly, to the left from the entrance, I can already see the Emerald Eye shop. And with my lantern out, I can just about see a pipe that I can totally jump on top of. So I can simply climb over to the stairway leading to the very lever blocking my path. But more importantly, I can just turn around and go to the upper market district. We have now completely bypassed the barber shop and are free to enter the final safe spot of the game. Now, as long as the shopkeeper doesn't offer me a key to enter my room, I should be fine. From here, the rest of the game is trivial. I exit my dedicated room in the shop, I immediately see a stairway onto the attic. Walking up there, you can see the ghost of the Countess, enter the mirror, which leads you to the Mirror Realm, a new area that basically serves as a fast travel dimension. Then you just have to find the tallest tower in the Mirror Realm and get to the top room of it, which is absolutely no trouble unless you butterfinger yourself into the void. But here's the final kicker of this entire playthrough. Just for giggles, I managed to lock myself back out of the Emerald Eye, putting the grate once again between myself and it. And out of curiosity, I took out my Undertaker pistol and carefully aimed at where I'm assuming the lever should be. And as it turns out, you can just about hit a tiny pixel of the hitbox of that lever, meaning that all my acrobatics around the bridge and potentially killing every single hunter around here were completely pointless. When I said in the beginning of the video that this thing would be the MVP of the run, I had no idea that it would also be the biggest troll. Either way, here I am beating Gloomwood without having picked up a single key on my way here. If you have any ideas for more challenge runs for this game or otherwise, I would love to see them in the comments. My name has been ZloyXP. See you next time.